And now the presentation is by Mr. Roger Dirksmeier, Managing Director, Rail Systems, FOGTEC, Brandschutzgraham. After studying vehicle engineering in Cologne, Germany, specialized in track-guided vehicles as well as traction technologies and working for Deutsche AG, he joined FOGTEC beginning 2001 to develop the market of rolling stock applications for FOGTEC. His current positions are Managing Director, Rail Systems and member of the board, shareholder of FOGTEC, Chairman of the SME Committee of UNIFE, member of the presiding board of UNIFE, Vice President of International Monorail Association, and Vice President of Interdisciplinary Railway Research Association. A very warm welcome to you, sir, and over to you, sir, for your presentation.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this session of Rail Technology Expo 2021. My name is Roger Dirksmeier. I'm Managing Director of FOGTEC Rail Systems, and let's have a short look to the agenda of today. I would like to give a quick introduction of FOGTEC Rail Systems and then a more detailed look to the full system safety integrity assessment, and at the end also to give an application case as an example. FOGTEC Fire Protection, based in Cologne in Germany, was founded in 1997 and is a typical small and medium enterprise and a so-called hidden champion from Germany. The team is based mainly on engineers, and more than 45 partners around the world are supporting the FOGTEC company to implement, integrate, to sell, to develop the FOGTEC systems for all different kinds of applications. FOGTEC has a wide range of experts in different kinds of engineering and is specialized on the design of leading companies worldwide with offices and activities around the globe. Mainly three business units are active in FOGTEC. We have the fixed systems, which is taking care about building industrial applications, the tunnel systems, which are used in underground infrastructure, and the FOGTEC rail systems, which is taking care about rolling stock applications. And this part is also what we want to have a more detailed look in today as a world's leading supplier in active fire protection solution for rolling stock. FOGTEC rail systems, that means a team, a system provider for active fire protection systems, fire detection, fire suppression, but also the communication behind. In rolling stock applications, a system integrator with full system verification programs and with its wide product portfolio for railway-specific systems covering different levels of technology and safety. One of the big advantages of FOGTEC, IRIS certified company, is a full-time rolling stock team and a wide range of references with more than 17,500 systems around the world. If we speak about the FOGTEC products, there's a wide range of different technical levels for CPUs, smoke detectors, heat detectors, and several other detectors like the in India already well-known smoke aspiration systems and different kinds. Here we can see just an example how FOGTEC system, here based on the 5000 series, which is the actual most used solution, certified up to Seal 2 in the market, how it's integrated into a train with a centralized CPU, fire detection in passenger areas by smoke or heat detectors, linear heat detectors in the technical areas, with water mist system in the passenger area, and aerosol generator systems in the technical areas. Systems like this, or taking products from our other portfolio with more simple solutions, are used in more than 17,500 systems around the world in metro trains, LRVs, monorails, DMU, EMU for regional and long distance traffic, high-speed trains, electric and diesel locomotives, and special trains like for maintenance, coach railways, or night trains with sleeper cars. But there's also specific reasons that we would like to speak about full system safety integrity assessment today to you. With the developments in our market, we can see that safety, zeal, and similar words and definitions are used more and more and becomes more and more important. On the other side, safety, zeal, and others are used, unfortunately, a lot of times in the wrong context. And to avoid that there is any misleading action or decision not following the requirements given in the standards, we would like to give a short overview. What does it mean at the end to have a full system safety integrity assessment? The big challenge, safety integrity level, but basically it has to be it could be reduced to safety functions which have to be defined. And looking to the markets, to the projects, to the development on the requirements, then we have to understand that an increase in safety with additional efforts, consultants, and own resources to fulfill the requirements given by higher safety levels would unfortunately always means also an increase of cost for such systems. On the other side, unfortunately, SEAL 2 certified or SEAL certified system is used very often in a wrong way. So system means here, for example, not few or part of a component. It means that all components of a system have to be certified and to run through an assessment. I also learned during talking to some customers that people explained to them that SEAL 2 would mean also just to use 2 CPUs in such a system like we providing to the market. And this shows also how wide is the range of unknowledge in the market, and there's a big need of education. Such use, and maybe just for marketing, but can result in misleading decisions and legally difficult situations at the end for the people making use of the solutions. If we look to specifications or also to normative requirements, sometimes it's not really detailed what is requested from the supplier. So first of all, there should be a clear agreement about the needed safety functions for a subsystem and the related SEAL level which has to be fulfilled. So if the customer is requesting a SEAL system, what does it mean finally, and how to find the right solution to fulfill this requirement also on a legally right base. This needs always a lot of discussions and clarifications between the parties. But at the end, there should be a target which is clearly defined and which the customer can expect the suppliers also fulfilling. If we look to the FOGTEC approach about that, when we started the development of the actual Series 5000, we came from the basic integrity level version in parallel to the SEAL solution, because there's a specific own development on that, as SEAL 2 is also covering the development process for such a system. So it means also for not already developed, for already developed parts and components, it would be difficult to get a real SEAL 2 certification. Our aim was to have a modular solution, highly flexible, designed for platforms and with a full redundancy in communication. We started in 2012 already with the first developments. In end of 2015, we were able to supply the first systems. And at the end, in 2018, we could make a party, let's say, for our first complete system SEAL 2 assessment with a certificate. SEAL 2 means here not only some parts of the system are certified or run through an assessment, the whole process of development hardware, software, and system assessment was done until the last screw. And if it works well, at the end, such a certificate is there, which you can provide to your customers. If we speak about full system safety integrity assessment, then we have to start from the component level. With the choice of material, we also have to take care about EN 45545, failure modes and related failure rates to meet the reliability targets. The whole development process have to be assessed by the third-party checkers. And then the validation for all the components has to be done. Means mostly following EN 5155. And you all know that there was a change in 2017 in the standards, which brings also additional efforts and requirements to the components. And all these requirements have to be fulfilled by each single component. Afterwards, when you move to the system level, then a project process according EN 5126 have to be started for the project itself. The software assessment have to be started according EN 5657, and then a complete system assessment after you did the software as well as the component assessment. Then you can do the complete system assessment in accordance to EN 5129. For ourselves, for Series 5000, unfortunately, I have to say that we terribly underestimated efforts and costs, and we extended the budget terribly the same way like the time. But at the end, it was done. And of course, we are looking to bring to documents, to bring to these third-party checkers, and have to be assessed from the independent bodies. At the end, there's a huge amount of documentation, a lot of validation efforts requested, always to verify your solution against your specification. And for each single component, it has to be validated again against EN 5126 as well as EN 5155. Then the software assessment, which I will say something additionally on the next slide, has to follow the rules of EN 5657, and then a complete system assessment has to be done in accordance to EN 5129. EN 5657 came during a time when we were on the development on Series 5000, and unfortunately it made a lot of difficulties to us during this development process, because the standard is also requesting changes in your organization and into the company structure, and also to the resource management. And looking to all the documents which have to be provided, there should be also a very good risk management system behind to understand the real needs and what your company is willing to go and to supply. What we can recommend is that an IRA certified company, which has normally already implemented a very good risk management solution or process, would have a very good base to fulfill also the requirements in regard to EN 5657. And for software, as you all know, it's not simply programming, which is done very fast and taking maybe only 10% of the time, while unit tests, documentation, bug fixing, and all the other things around is much bigger part of the efforts and also the costs. To give an idea about a case study where this solution is already in place with our systems is the STADLER EC250, called from STADLER GIRUNO as a product family name, and it's called by Swiss Railway SMILE. And this project started, here's some key figures, started in 2015 for us. This SMILE train, which is an 11 car unit, 200 meters long, with 29 train sets in the whole project. The homologation has to run for Switzerland, Germany, and Italy, and the revenue service should start in 2019. And the certificate, which you saw a few slides before, released in 2018, was exactly for this project. So in 2018, this job was done and ready right in time for the revenue services. Some further key issues. In our system here, we have more than 160 participants on the F-bus. controlled by a single steel CPU. The whole bus communication, the cables are running through 500 meters in length. There's one centralized cylinder system on the train. And it's the first complete ZEAL 2 system with a full assessment for hardware, software, and system in accordance then to EN 5129. In this train, we're using smoke detectors for the passenger area, the crew area, the gallery, the driver's cab, and in some low voltage technical areas. Multi-criteria smoke and heat detectors in toilets, and the linear heat detection system in medium and high voltage areas. Fire suppression system, water mist system, high pressure water mist system is used for passenger area and toilets, while in medium and high voltage areas, aerosol generator system is used. The whole process during this project was a software development and verification in accordance to EN 5657, the validation of communication and interface tests to the TCMS, smoke tests for the positioning of the smoke detectors in the train in accordance to ARGO directives. There were also fire tests done to prove against ARGO directives, but also to cover Italian requirements. Then there was a special validation procedure for the heating system, because you can imagine with a high pressure water mist system, you have to transport water. And during cold winters, you have to take care about that it's not freezing. This type test validation of functionalities and the integration to the train level. ZEAL 2 software assessment in accordance to EN 5657 through a third-party checker. And at the end, also a complete system assessment in accordance to EN 5129, where we had to add the already done hardware assessment for each single component. On the train itself, then there was the smoke test running to, as I already said, for the right positioning of detectors, while in accordance to the ARGO directive, 60 seconds was a maximum allowed detection time for passenger area and crew area, and in technical areas for 120 seconds. For this whole train, 11-car train, there was one complete week of measuring campaign with testing in all possible operational conditions, as well as all possible places. At the end, we did also full-scale fire tests to perform, to demonstrate the performance in accordance to the ARGO Directive Part 2. And at the end, as you know it already from our markets, there are documents, documents, and documents. In our first project, I checked this just when I saw how many documents we have to supply in actual orders. In first projects in 1998, we supplied just a data sheet and a simple operation manual. And today, such projects like the EC250, which we saw before, there's always more than 200 different documents to be supplied. And for us means also that we have now more people in technical documentation than in the sales department. And as all the ZEAL discussions, which we here also started, show us, the market show us that there's a big need of education and also knowledge transfer. I would like to inform you that the new homepage, web page is coming up for ZEAL in railway vehicles to introduce and explain what does it mean, ZEAL for rail vehicles, and having available information about ZEAL in general, but also guidelines, publications from third parties, but also checklists for purchasing departments, but also technical departments to check what is really in front of you, how you can validate your offer from the suppliers. And there will be also some case studies for understand how to proceed with such requirements. We will keep you informed about that, and at this time it's the time to say thank you very much for your kind attention. You just see the FOGTEC details, contact details, but more important, especially in India, the contact details of my colleagues, Mr. Desai and Mr. Sharma. And it was my great pleasure to talk to you. And I say thank you very much again. And please take care and stay healthy. See you soon, hopefully, personally, and all the best.